friends. Today we're going to have a look at a platform feature which enables system administrators to create self-registration process for external users. To me, this is one of the most important and one of the most anticipated features introduced in Paris release of ServiceNow platform. On a side note, similar concept was already available for customer service management solution, and now it becomes broadly available. Let's talk about an optional use case. So in many cases, what we see is customers integrating to their Active Directory through LDAP and setting up user provisioning using this integration. But what happens if the customer chooses not to store the external users within their Active Directory? Let's have a look on how this can be achieved. As a first step, you need to deploy a plugin which was already enabled in my instance. Next, we'll go straight to configuration. We'll type down external and choose user registration configurations. We'll create a new record and give that configuration record a name. Here, you can specify the roles assigned to provision users. Now you can see that the platform is already suggesting to give the user an SNC external role. For those of you who are not familiar with explicit roles, I highly recommend looking into that as it will ease the control of the security of your platform. In addition, you can specify the terms and conditions. So you can specify a link here, or in addition to that, you can enable Google Captcha. For the ease of demo, I'm not going to use both of those options and just submit the record. Once the record is submitted, we have a few additional options. The first one is the registration tab. In registration tab, you can specify which inputs you require from your external users. As you can see out of the box, we have 3 fields which are being requested from our external users as part of their registration process, but you can easily add more. You can use the ones which are provided out of the box or create a custom one. In addition, you can define if verification is going to be needed. So in this case, verification is checked and the system is using an out-of-the-box flow. Let's have a look at that flow. So this flow is utilizing Flow Designer. And what you can see here is that it's actually sending an email to verify the email address is appropriate. Lastly, you can specify how long the link would be valid. So the out of the box and the default configuration is 24 hours. Next, transformation. So this is a standard transfer map. Once the user is created, you can see exactly how the fields are getting mapped. And in our case, we have 20 fields, and this is the mapping defined. And obviously, if you need to have a custom script, you can add it to the transfer script section. Next section is onboarding. Let's have a look on how onboarding works. So we will open that record. And yet again, we're using the Flow Designer. And what you can see here is the system tries to fetch the roles defined in the configuration record. It creates or updates the user role records, assigning that user with appropriate roles. It creates a password reset request, and it sends the reset request to the user who is doing the registration. Lastly, we have an advanced tab, and here you can find useful options such as activation success page, activation error page, and post-registration redirect page. So we will keep everything as it is out of the box and save that record. Next, we need to set up the user portal, which will use this authentication process or this registration process. So we'll go with portals. Select the service portal, the default one, and define the registration process that we've just defined. Once we've done that, let's use a new browser tab in incognito mode to verify the outcome. So I'm going to go to the ESP portal. And as you can see now, we don't have access register link. And by clicking this link, we will be presented with the questions that we've defined as part of the onboarding process. I will use demo, and I will use test as last name, and we will define demo test as the email address. Once we submitted that, we will go back to the platform and have a look at the emails log. Now, normally you will get an email, but just to shorten the demo, I will go with logs and show you the outcome. So it might take a few seconds and you will need to refresh, but there you have it. Verify your email address. That's the first step. Let's have a look. So I'll preview the email. Same email will be sent to your email client. And as you can see here, we're getting the first email, which is asking us to verify our email address. I'll copy the link and go back to our incognito session. And approve it. As you can see, the email address has been verified and another email was fired off from the platform. Let's switch back to the backend and see the next email. So I'll close this one, refresh the log, give it another second. And there you have it. Second step where the user is requested to set a new password. Let's have a look at that email. Preview the message. Copy the link provided. Go back to our incognito session. And now we're being redirected to the standard password reset process where we'll define the new password. Oops. Hope this one will work. It might take it a second or two until the password is reset. So there you have it. Now let's do a test. We'll use the email address. Log in. And as you can see, the login was successful. The reason why you see in this 404 page is because the SNC external role is not allowed to have access to the service portal. But as you can see here, demo test user was successfully created. To validate that, we will go back to the platform and go again with external and watch the registration requests. So you can see that we have a new request, and you can see that that request was processed, and it was processed using the registration configuration process that we've defined. That's it. I hope you find this tip useful. Have a great day.